It's Halloween and we are making Alexa sound creepy. But first, let's fix the lighting. It is Halloween tonight, and as far as Halloween tutorials go, well, this one is quite late to the party, so my apologies. However, you might take this, what you've learned, and apply it next year, and there is a chance that if you queue up so well in advance, you're completely gonna forget about it. Speaking of scary, and scare yourself as well. So today I'm going to show you how to turn Alexa into a creepy monster. So let's get started. But first, let me show you how it works. Alexa, what's the weather like?
In Ingleby Barwick, it's 8 degrees Celsius with showers. Tonight's forecast calls for more of the same, with a low of 7 degrees.
So it's crap weather, really. Oh well.
Regardless of this, I hope you get wet.
So let's try something else. Alexa, kitchen off.
You turn it off yourself next time.
As you can see, you could have plenty of fun and freak out everyone in your household, which is pretty much the point of Halloween, isn't it? So I'm going to show you how to make Alexa sound creepy and talk back at you, and also how to make various devices across your house play random sounds, from ghosts, bells, to some knocks and footsteps, to absolutely creep out everyone in your household. Let's open Node-RED. So secret to all of this, it's Alexa Remote 2, and you can actually know more about this in this video where I broke down every single element of this so you could know how to use it. So there are two different profiles we're talking about. There is a talkback, it's when the device responds back to you whispering, and there is a random scary noises. So let's start with random scary noises because they're slightly easier to set up. If you notice, I have a context data in here, which basically introduces a couple of things in flow variables. I have Alexa devices, I have noises as objects, so they just the arrays that include an audio path and a count. And I've got weather, but I'm going to jump into that in a bit. First, we're going to focus on Alexa devices and noises. Now, in order to play this at random interval on random devices, so we want random noises to appear on random devices, we're gonna have to issue a message every couple of minutes, or whatever you want to use. I used every 1 minute. I'm going to issue a message that will in turn generate a number between 1 and 10. This number, depending on the switch I've set up, if it's bigger than 7, then we have roughly 30% chances of triggering a random noise, which means the noise is not going to be triggered every minute, but on average it's going to be triggered 3 times within a space of 10 minutes. Now once we've got that, we need random noises. And I've created this simple function in here in which you have to submit 2 parameters. First is the audio path. Second is the how many clips are in this category. Now, if you go to Amazon developer website, you'll see available sound in library. There is over, I guess, a couple of thousand sounds, and in this demo I've used ghost spooky sounds, that's 4 of them, and ghost demon sounds, there are 15 of them. So I'm using this library to actually submit the voice clips. Now, using markup language, which is speech synthesis markup language for Alexa devices, I can play the audio track using this syntax. Now, this is very useful because it actually is going to play those random sounds. So let's go back and see what I've did. First, I'm just copying this and stopping at where the number would be. Now I know that my random ghost demon sounds, there are 15 different clips, so I've submitted 15 and I'm gonna complete that URL later on. And from now on, it's just a matter of generating a random URL that I'm going to pick from my different array of noises. So you can see I've got spooky ghosts, there are 4 clips in here, and I've got my ghost demons, there are 15 clips in here. So first, I'm just going to pick a random Alexa device, which is drawn from this table in here. Those are just the Alexa devices, and you can obtain that ID from here. So if you just go to your list of devices, click on that, it will give you the device ID. So that's what's going to be needed to identify all the devices on your network. Now going back to that script, once we've got that set, I'm just simply checking how many devices we've got and set a random device using message device ID. Now once I've got a device assigned, it's time to pick up a random noise set. So this is a first random noise set, the 0 object, and the 1 is the object number 2. So this random generator picks one of the sets of sounds. Once I've got that, it's time to pick a random sound, which is going to be again a random number between numbers in a set. So in this case 4, or in this case it's 15. And that soundtrack is going to be composed, the message is going to be completed and submitted to my Alexa routine node to be spoken. Now, one of the nodes that you have to remember, even though the SSML is unavailable in here, it won't work for some reason for me, but as long as I include all the markup tags like this, so I have to start with speak and then do all of that, then it will work just fine. So don't worry about it, just set it to regular and you'll be able to direct the Alexa to do the right thing. Now it's time for a talkback. We have a node which is device activity. So Alexa event node, it traces the device activity, and every time I ask my device about something, I'm gonna get noises are back. I'm gonna get something from here, and based on that I can use that as a trigger. So I know that when I make a voice action, my payload description summary, it's going to contain some of these words, and I'm using off and on to trigger it, to trigger the context when I'm turning something on and then turning something off, or when I'm using word lights. This means that for this action I will be drawing a random answer from my array that contains relevant information about answers. So in this case I've got them here. So do I sound like your room service, or you turn it off and on yourself, etc. Now if I want to respond to a different subset, so for example like I did with my weather, all I had to do is create another weather. So in array. So in weather array I've got in here, regardless of this, I hope you get wet, and etc. So I just simply submit a different array with predefined answers that's going to be drawn from this set at random. So each time I'm going to ask Alexa about the weather, it's going to pick the weather array instead and pick one of those talkbacks and play them after 10 seconds. The delay is important for this one because unlike turning lights on and off, it actually Alexa takes time to reply, so you don't want to stop that stream and interrupt it with whispering. Now I've used whispering particularly because it's evil, and you can see that in here I use these tags in here to actually trigger Amazon effect whispered. Now when you're formatting the information for payload, you have to remember to escape special characters, otherwise it won't work as well. But if you're just going to download this from my website, all you have to do is just add new text, select what talkback you want to do. So let's say hello, hello, and deploy it, and then submit it to an array. And when you refresh the array, you'll see that now we have a third object in my array, and this is hello. And that's how you can submit random different answers, which is going to be in this case whispered every time I asked my device to be turned on and off. Okay, so you know how to do it now, and I know it's only a couple of hours left of Halloween, and it might be slightly too late to try it this time, but if you set the date right, next year you're gonna have everything ready. And just imagine the surprise on everyone's faces once Alexa starts speaking back at them. I can't wait to hear that. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this short and little fun tutorial about how to turn Alexa into a creepy monster. And as usual, I'm going to just advertise my social media, where it's the easiest to get notification wherever something new is out. You know how YouTube works, I'm not going to advertise that. So, thanks so much for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye! But first, Oh boy, that's gonna be interesting.